Hello and welcome. This video is about writing and appending to a file. The file type used in this video is a text file. The text file has been created using Notepad. Check out my other videos for reading and writing to CSV files. Writing to a file. In order to write to a file, we have to first have our variable to hold the contents of the file. So I'm going to use the variable f for file. Then we need to use the open function, followed by the name of the file that we want to write to. So my file that I'm going to write to is going to be called new file. And it's a text file, so I'm going to use the extension txt. Then we need to use our access mode. That is the mode that we're going to use to access the file. In this case, we want to write to the file, so I'm going to use the access mode W. Then we need to obviously write to the file, so I'm going to use the F, which is going to be like a file handler. Okay, so f.write, and then whatever it is that I want to write to the file. Okay, in this case, I'm just going to write hello there. To actually write to the file. Then you need to actually close the file. If you don't close the file, what will happen when you try to read what's in the file? Sometimes not all the information that you want to write to file will actually be in the file. So what we're going to do now is go File, we save, and then we run our file. Okay, so you can see there's no errors, so the files has been created with the contents hello there. Okay. So what we're going to do now is go and locate our file and look at the contents of our file. Our file now has been created successfully, and you can see that we have our Python program here and our new file that we created in the same directory. When you're working with files in Python, you need to also make sure that your program that you've created to read or write to the file is in the same directory as the file that you are using. So let's double click on it, open it, and see the contents of it. So as you can see, it says hello there. Okay, so that's what we've written in our file. We can use another method to open our files. So I'm going to use the with statement to actually open our files. So we'll go with open, then I'm going to say as f. Okay, and then you've got to terminate the line with a colon, and then here you have to have your writing to the file indented. In this case, when we're using with, we actually do not need to have the close function at the end. We do not need to close our file because it will be closed automatically. Okay, so this is another method of how you could actually write to your file, and it does exactly the same thing. It will just write to the file as the other method did, and if the file exists, it will overwrite it. If it doesn't exist, it will create it. Let's write a list of student names to our file. So we'll write a list of their names and their grades to the file. So I've got James here, 67, and then I'll add somebody here, call him John. Give him 97. Then we can have someone else here. We'll call her Lisa. We can give her a grade here. And we'll just add one more student here. We'll call her Mary. Give her 97 also. Okay, so what you need to remember as well, once you have your file, when you're writing to your file, is to close the file. If you fail to close your file, then your data wouldn't be added to the file. Also, what I've done here, I've used the same text file, new file, and I've used the write modes. So what's going to happen here, it will create the new file and overwrite any information that's already in the file. So let's go and save our document. We'll run it, and then we'll go and have a look at our new file. Okay, so you can see the program's created a text file, new file. So we'll just have a look inside the file. So we'll double click on it and you can see it's done James, John, Lisa and Mary. At the moment, what you can see, it's done everything on one line. So what we need to do is specify a new line within our write statement. So that's what we're going to do now. If we want to have each student details on a new line, we have to specify the new line character, which is \n. So I'm going to do that for each student details. Okay, so what this program is going to do is create a new file using the write mode, and then what it's going to do is have every student details on a new line. So what we're going to do again is save it, run our program, okay, and then we're going to obviously look at our new file. So we've created a new file with new information, and the student details should be on a separate line. So if we double click on it, so you can see James, John, Lisa and Mary have all their details on separate lines. In our new file, we currently have 4 student details: James, John, Lisa and Mary. We may want to add new student details to our file. In order to do that, we have to change our access mode from a W to A for append, to append to that file. So let's actually add 2 more students to our new file. So we're going to add 2 new students to our new file. Okay, so currently in the file we have James, John, Lisa and Mary. So we're going to add 2 more new students. So in order to add 2 new students to our new file, we have to change the access mode to A for append. Append will add to the end of the file and keep the existing information in the file. So let's save our file and take a look at the new information that's been added to our file. So we can take a look at the contents of our new file with the new information added. So we double click on our new file to open it, and we can see the existing information, James, John, Lisa and Mary, is still there. And now we've added 2 new students, Bob and Nigel. You can format strings to a file with the write function. In this example here, we're going to write the total number of students, that's percentage of girls and boys, to an out file. We've used a percentage sign here. The percentage is known as the string modular operator or the modulus operator. It's used in string formatting. When we have percentage and a D, this informs the computer that we're actually going to be using integers. In this example here, it's used as a placeholder for the integer value. So the value for the total number of students, the percentage and the D will be substituted for the value 500. For the girls, the percentage and the D will be substituted for the 230. And for the boys, the percentage and D will be substituted for 270. Let's save our document, run it and see what's been written to our out file. So here is our out file that we have written to, along with the Python program that we had created in order to write to our out file. So we double click on it to open it. Okay, so what you can see here is the total number of students. 500 students, 230 girls and 270 boys. Thank you for watching. In my next video, we'll be writing to and reading CSV files.